Carcamo. And first of all, I want to thank Ms. Thomas to allow me to observe this wonderful class for my master class for 1 month. And second, I want to thank to everyone for cooperating with me. Thank you so much. So we'll start. The next one is repetition. So you're writing down the notes, right? Everyone is writing down the notes, right? The definition is when a word or phrase is repeated through a piece of writing to emphasize a point. So here's the example, such as the phrase, I have a dream, is repeated throughout the speech. Right. Do you have any question? Angel, can you give us another example? You.
Me?
Yes.
How about like in a song?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a phrase that's always repeated.
Like the topic,
Yeah.
like the name of the song usually.
Yeah.
Right. That's great. Did everyone finish this note? For this one? It's easy to remember, to understand? Okay. So I think next slide. Thank you. Another one is, anyone can tell us how to pronounce this word?
Metaphor.
Metaphor? Metaphor. Metaphor.
Yeah.
The definition is the comparison is made without using like or as. For example, she has a heart of gold. Marini, can you explain the example about this rhetorical device? How do we understand this example? It's a metaphor. So which words they didn't use in this sentence? According to the definition, that without using...
and didn't use like or as.
对, I mean, yes. Right. So she has a heart of gold. So how do I understand this sentence? So what the sentence talk about?
The heart being gold.
She's comparing the heart with gold.
So it's a good heart or bad heart? It's a good heart.
Yeah, she's being sarcastic. Like, who's never saying it and they're being sarcastic.
Depends the situation. Or the metaphor? Metaphor.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you mean figurative? She's being figurative?
Well, like, a heart
Not
is
certain.
gold, then like nobody really has a heart of gold, so.
Yes, it's
Oh.
figurative, right? Not literal. There you go.
So it's literal or figurative? Louis. So this one is a literal or figurative? Why?
Because it's like comparisons in there are not like really real, but it's like saying it's like the same.
Right. Okay. Anyone remember what is a rhetorical device before this slide? What is the one before this one? Without looking at your notes. I have a dream. I have a dream. I have a dream. So what's that device? That's repetition. Right. Okay. Next slide. All right. Jeremy, can you help us to pronounce the name of parallelism, or it's called?
Parallel structure.
Right. Thank you. So the definition of this device is repetition of words or phrases with similar grammatical structures. Is there any volunteer for us to read the code? Any? Okay, thank you.
That this nation shall have a new birth of freedom, that the government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish from the earth. Abraham Lincoln, Gettysburg, 1863.
They just came out a movie. Abraham Lincoln. All right. So what is a rhetorical device using here? Huh? What is the rhetorical device using
Repetition
here?
of the words or phrases that are similar.
Which part in this code is using this rhetorical device?
The government for the people.
The government for the people. Any other
No.
answer? Andrew?
Oh damn, I don't know. Oh, but the people. Is it?
All the people.
Yeah, by the people, for the people.
Right. So that is a parallel structure. Anyone remember what is the last two rhetorical devices before this one? Without looking at your notes. Reputation. Right. Right, that's right. Great. The wonderful class. Next slide. Marini, can you help us to read it?
Analogy.
Uh-huh.
Analogy comparison made between two things to show how they are alike. This is different from a metaphor and that is an analogy.
Right, it is different from the metaphor. And the code? Jonathan? The code? The relationship? And what does this mean? This means
The relationship was
changing, right? Let's see, would you read another example, please? Cold?
Cold is the ice and heat is the fire. This is a typical analogy format.
Angel, can you tell us the difference between an analogy and a metaphor? What's the difference? How do we distinguish those?
Metaphor. For this one, they're comparing something, two things, like how they're alike, I guess. And metaphor is like they're being figurative, you know, like they're not comparing it. I don't know.
Any other?
Analogy we use it as or like, and metaphor doesn't.
What?
I would say that's very close, but the trick is they're very close. They're very similar. So sometimes analogies can also be metaphors, and analogies can also be similes. So they're very similar. They do overlap sometimes.
Right. Did everyone write down the notes, the definition yet? So anyone need more time? And what are the other rhetorical devices before this one? Repetition? Metaphor? Parallel.
Structure.
And what is the example in the parallel one? Said by who?
Abraham Lincoln.
Right, and what did he say in the example? What is the parallel structure about?
The people.
And how did they say it? For the people? By the people. Right. Correct, smart. Right, the next slide. Right, it's called call to action. It's telling the readers what they can do to change the situation. Maybe, can you help us to read the example?
Telling readers what they can do to change the situation.
The example?
Now is the time to make the real promises of democracy.
And do you know?
Martin Luther King, I have a dream speech.
Right. So this is called call to action. It's telling the readers what they can do to change the situation. Do you use that in your writing? Well, if you use this rhetorical device in the writing just while your class just did about the food, what can you call people to have a change in the situation? Like a lot of people eat unhealthy food. In your writing, you could.
Say like, eat green.
Right. So maybe you probably can start like, now is the time to
Eat green.
eat healthier, eat green, right? That's right. Is there any questions?